Do you want to know how to raise your kids to live extraordinary lives? Well, you're not alone, and that's what we're talking about in this video. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach about parenting, communication, family bonding, and in this video, we're talking about how to help our children reach that next bit of their potential toward extraordinary living forever. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what I did with my children to help them live purposeful, extraordinary lives, and some things that you can do to help teach your children so that you can have some of the same experiences. Years ago, when I was training treatment foster children in my home and trying to help them overcome a lot of hardships that they were facing, I realized that they needed purpose and vision for their life and trying to figure out which way they needed to head so that they didn't fall into some of the traps that some of the other people in their lives who had messed up had fallen into. And I realized they needed to understand more about what life was in general. It's not just about things you do, but it's about who you are. So I decided to see the potential in them, which meant that they couldn't be just the next perfect children to me. So I decided I'm not raising perfect children. That cannot be a goal. Instead, I have to raise something different, a certain type of an adult, because the child won't ever be perfect in the minute, and they need to know that's not the goal anyway. So I decided I was raising joyful adults who knew what their mission in life was and couldn't wait to fight for it, and had solid relationships with God and family. That way, they could be on the pathway to future happiness and success. Truly, when you think of the word extraordinary, think of that. That means extraordinary or out of the ordinary. So what is the ordinary right now? A lot of young people getting stagnant, not moving along, not knowing what they want out of life, dealing with a lot of mental health concerns, having some social issues, feeling like they don't fit in, sometimes getting to a place even where they feel like they want to harm themselves. This is becoming more and more popular. So what would be a truly extraordinary life? A person who is secure, who knows where they're going, who knows what leads to happiness. And where do they learn that most? I reasoned to myself, it was from me. It was from the family. And I wanted to help these youth more than anything else. So I knew I needed to be the example of what I hoped they would achieve. In fact, when my own children got to an age where they started to say, Mom, in life, I actually think that I would like to do this like you. I want to have a family like you did. Those were things where I realized they've gotten the message. I've taught them what leads to true happiness. I didn't talk bad about parenting. I didn't talk bad about my children. I didn't talk bad about my responsibilities as an adult. Those are all selfish things, prideful things. Instead, I decided that I was going to really celebrate everything about life, celebrate my family, celebrate my roles and my responsibilities and the ways that I can serve the world. And I would show them life is exciting and it just gets better and better the more you grow. And they seem to have gotten that message. So there's some key things I did to help them become those type of adults. One of those key things I've already hit on, and that is I wasn't focusing on them being perfect in the minute. I was focusing on them becoming a certain type of an adult. This was something in the future. That meant that no matter what happened, I was willing to accept it and help them work through it. This means that I had decided ahead of time not to get emotional or take things personal when my child makes a mistake or has a misbehavior. And I promise you, with some of the foster children that came to live in my home, there were some pretty extreme misbehaviors. But I decided that's just a behavior. Anybody can overcome a behavior. We just need to get to a place of calmness, a place of understanding, so that we can do some teaching so that they don't have to get in this place again. So I maintained advocacy for them. This didn't mean I was going to enable them or coddle them or do things for them. No, a person who's extraordinary is a person who knows how to solve their own problems. So I was going to teach them how to solve their own problems, not do all the problem solving for them. And there are certain things that I teach in my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course that deliberately teach people how to solve problems. There's some problem solving exercises called SODAs. That's an acronym for situation, options, disadvantages, advantages, solutions. These were exercises that we would go through repeatedly to help them develop the prefrontal cortex so that they could solve their own problems. But not only that, I taught them certain skills they needed, like how to disagree appropriately and accept no answers, and many others, so that they could learn how to communicate with me and with other people so that they wouldn't have to have emotional problems or feel like nobody understood them in their future lives. what do extraordinary people have? They have skills. Before I get to some of the teachings and ways that you can teach your children, hit that subscribe button. There is so much on this channel all about learning self-government, parenting, increasing the bonding with your children, and you're not going to want to miss it. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that you do get notified when new stuff comes out. In order to help your children develop a big picture of their future, which truly is extraordinary because that would mean they're headed somewhere. They've got a goal. They're going to accomplish something. Then you want to develop a vision and mission mindset as a family. So in our family, we have a picture. This picture is called a family vision, and it's who we're becoming at a certain time in the future. In fact, we have just a couple more years before we hit that family vision time, which is very exciting. So create that picture for your family, that this is who we're becoming. And make sure that there's some details there that you can hold on to and maybe even tell them that story when they're little. Then there's the family mission statement. This is a statement that our family says every day as part of our family devotion time. So we pray and read scriptures, and then we say our family mission statement to remind ourselves, this is who we are. This is what this environment is supposed to be like. And if it's ever not like this, we definitely need to fix. So we've got a picture for our mind and our hearts, and we have words that we say each day to remind ourselves how we're going to accomplish that picture for our lives. This is huge. It helps the children recognize that what they're doing in that family is creating a pattern for the future. And if you're creating a vision and a mission for your family as a group, why wouldn't you also talk to your child about creating a vision and a mission for their life individually? Of course you would. In fact, many times I would talk to my children, whether they were foster children or my natural children, and I would say to them, what do you want our relationship to be like 5 years from now when you're already grown and gone? Or what do you want our relationship to be like by the end of this year? We should take some deliberate steps to work on it. So make plans. Look to the future. Teach your child to be big picture, and they will start going places. Additionally, if you want your child to be extraordinary, then you need to help them develop bonds. The best way to practice developing bonds with people and communicating with people is within the family unit. If your child is connected to family, communicates well with family, has good relationships and friendships within the family, that child will be a social success. You want your child to be extraordinary in these days, then you need to create a person who actually understands social skills. And the way that they learn that is by working on them in your home. Many people think social skills are developed with friends. No, that's where you practice the social skills you've already developed with your family. In fact, if your friends are training you on your social skills, chances are that means you are a little bit behind the game, and who knows if we can trust the teaching that's happening from a same age peer. Also, if you're not teaching on social skills, then what could happen? They could also find their social skills from pop culture and the media, places like YouTube. And that's not going to be a good place for them to find their social skills. That definitely would be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. For sure, do deliberate teaching within the family by training the family how to communicate with each other. And there are certain skills that you can use for that for success. I would love to teach you some of those skills. So I have a free gift for you. By clicking the link that is directly below this video in the description section that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit, you can get a free Calm Parenting Toolkit, which will start talking about some of the skills that you need for self-government success in your family. This is a mini course that you can use to improve your calmness and the calmness of your children, which will also teach them a skill that will make them an absolutely extraordinary person, the skill of calmness.